Welcome everybody to the Araneta Coliseum for the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. We're about to get this underway, but please enjoy the local talents.
Puerto Rico, Serbia. This is the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Win for all.
Well, when you win for all. In the case, we have Puerto Rico taking on Serbia here in this big group matchup. Well, hello everybody, I'm your commentator Josh Bent, alongside Coach Will Voigt of the Austin Spurs and the NBA G League coach. Well, Ken, let's break this one down here. We got two kings of both continents of Europe and Americas right now. The Serbians looking to extend their winning record after an emphatic victory against China.
Yeah, and they looked so good in that first game, executing their offense perfectly. We'll look to do more of the same today against Puerto Rico.
Well, Serbia's there, you can see Bogdan Bogdanovic coming out, a member of the Atlanta Hawks. And you know, it was very much a collective effort from these Serbian players when they took on their former coach, Sasha Djordjevic, and the Chinese national team.
Yeah, and you know, that's the Serbian approach. Team basketball, they've got a lot of skill throughout that lineup, all of them contributing against China.
Well, the Serbian players, you know, one key thing to know is that Petrushiev went down in that game with an ankle injury. Now, we have seen him so far here this evening, but it's very unlikely that we'll see him playing because that was a nasty ankle roll he had against China.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately went down with the ankle injury, but as soon as he went down, Ristic really stepped up, came onto the floor, hit a couple of pick and pop threes, had really strong minutes for them. So it just shows you the depth that they have on that roster.
Well, there's the man in the middle, the Giants who plays in Greece for Olympiacos, Nikola Milutinov. Well, he has been fantastic so far. This team, a real dominant force in the low post.
Yeah, I mean, he gives them that inside-outside presence with Boggy on the perimeter. They know that they've got two solid offensive options on every possession.
Serbia coached by the great Svetislav Pesic. Remember, he was a World Cup champion in 2002 in Indianapolis when they defeated Manu Ginobili in Argentina in the final. And now we get to introduce is John Holland, showing the energy early on here, along with Isaiah Pinheiro. Those two with basketball Champions League experience. The case of Pinheiro playing for Darius Shafka. John Holland now currently playing, well, he did play for Hapoel Jerusalem, but it's all about this man, the big fella, George Condit. He's going to have his hands full when he goes up against Milutinov of Serbia.
Yeah, I mean, Condit, though, all over the offensive rebounds in their first game. 6 offensive rebounds, 23 total offensive rebounds for Puerto Rico, and that dramatic come from behind win against South Sudan.
Well, they were led in the first half by Trevon Waters, you know, a player that you are very familiar with, G League and NBA experience, but has been playing in Puerto Rico. But this man needs to put the voodoo behind him. Asiel Romero, remember, missing the 2 free throws in regulation that could have booked in the victory before going to overtime.
Yeah, and I mean, again, Romero also with 6 offensive rebounds in that game, contributing in so many other ways. And for Tremont Waters, he's going to have to be more efficient. Obviously ended with 19 points, 11 assists, but he did it on 5 for 16 shooting, and he had 8 turnovers. So he's got to be a lot stronger with the ball here tonight.
Well, the Puerto Ricans coming into this game with a lot of confidence off their come from behind victory against South Sudan. But you know, anytime, and you know this especially, it's not just Serbia It's, as the great Mel Sakati said, the great Serbia, or South Sudan, picking up their first ever victory in history at a FIBA Basketball World Cup as they defeat China. That makes things very interesting. South Sudan still yet to play against Serbia, but no doubt that'll be a tough game. Puerto Ricans, I mean, it's not over if they lose this game, because if anything, if they lose this, they can look forward to a matchup with China that could see them finish, maybe first place, maybe second, but, destiny pretty much is in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they see first place in the group up for grabs, so they want to have a great performance tonight.
Well, now we stand to pay respect and homage to the national anthems of both Serbia and Puerto Rico.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Puerto Rico.
Two beautiful countries, national anthems have been sung, and now players will shake hands with each other, pay each other homage. But now we're just over 6 minutes away from tip-off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, it's only right that we introduce our three referees for tonight's game, and we have some of the finest officials here in world basketball. They've done an excellent job in all of our competitions, and they'll continue to do so here tonight in this FIBA Basketball World Cup matchup between Puerto Rico and Serbia. Well, the referees are coming from Ecuador, France, and Argentina. From Ecuador, we have Carlos Peralta, Leonardo Salazar, and for France, we have the great Johan Rosso. Well, Coach, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups. And again, be interested to see how Puerto Rico try to match up against a very physical Serbian team. But these Serbian players led by that man, Bogdan Bogdanovic, NBA superstar. And who else better than to have a coach with FIBA Basketball World Cup Championship DNA?
Yeah, no question. Coach Pesic with an incredible international resume there. Serbia able to come with a ton of talent. Be interesting to see if Puerto Rico goes with their smaller backcourt, knowing the size of the Serbian starting five.
Nikola Milutinov will play the center role, along with Stefan Jovic, Dobric, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and of course Miami Heat rookie Nikola Jovic. Well, Bogdan Bogdanovic averaging, well, in the first game against China, he was 6 rebounds and 7 assists away from a double-double, but the victory was what the ultimate goal is.
Yeah, just a normal night at the office for Bogdanovic. Very solid, efficient night. Didn't really need to put up big scoring numbers for them.
Well, Milutinov, the big man, again, he almost had a double-double, but as we already mentioned, it was a collective effort from these Serbian players. But they did find it a little bit more challenging against a very inspired Puerto Rico team. Nikola Milutinov, he's going to have to deal with a physical presence at times with Ismael Romero, and not to mention George Condon. So the big man for Olympiacos, he has to come with his A game today. As we've already paid homage to one of the greatest coaches in the history of FIBA Basketball World Cup history. Remember, coaching the great Vlade Divac, Peja Stojakovic, Dejan Bodiroga, that big victory against the United States in the quarterfinals, for sure, he will be looking to replicate this success. But now, Coach, Trevon Waters, how crucial was he in the first half in their opening win?
Yeah, I mean, hit some really big threes there, but again, he's going to have to be efficient with how he does it tonight. Can't have the high level of turnovers that we saw in that first game, but he's really their scoring spark plug. Can do it in a lot of different ways and can shoot it from deep.
A lot of expectations on him, man. Remember, Puerto Rico, one of only a few nations within the world where basketball is the #1 sport. Well, they're going to start with Isaiah Pinheiro, George Condon inside, Steven Thompson Jr., who was their key player in overtime, Ismael Romero, and the man who just knows how to make it rain, and it's in his name, Tremont Waters.
Yeah, and Steven Thompson Jr., another player with G League experience, really, really solid game, especially at the end of the fourth quarter and into overtime. But you see, Tremont Waters with the big stat line, but again, how he got there, he's going to have to do it with a little bit better shot selection tonight. Not allow Serbia to use some of those turnovers to get out in fast break.
Well, Tremont Waters, for all of his success in the first game, he had 5 3-pointers in the first half. But it was really down to this man, Steven Thompson Jr., as we just mentioned. The crucial 2 3-pointers that he had in OT that really did seal the deal for them.
Yeah.
They can.
Sorry, and I was just going to say, he also had that crucial steal and transition finish at a key point late in the fourth quarter. So really coming up with big play after big play in their comeback win.
Now, what's Nelson Colon's approach going to be? I mean, look, they're up against one of the greatest teams in world basketball, ranked 6th in the world by Nike due to the FIBA World Rankings. It's going to be a tough challenge, no doubt, the underdog story for Puerto Rico.
Well, I think one of the things that they can take with them from that first game is that they're never out of it. So even if Serbia gets out to a good start, they know that they were able to climb back against South Sudan, and that's got to give them confidence.
And Puerto Rico, historically, a team known for being the giant killers. We said this in the opening game, 2004. It was led by Juan Carlos Arroyo, who is here in the building working with the Federation, defeating a USA team that had Tim Duncan, Stephon Marbury, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, so many greats to name. But tonight they're going to have to deal with that man there, the big fella, the giant from Olympiacos, Nikola Milutinov. What do they have to do to stop him?
Well, it's going to be interesting. Obviously a lot more athleticism they can throw at him than what he saw against China. Will they double team at all when he gets it down the low post? We'll have to see.
60 points coming from the Serbian bench. Probably not going to be the case tonight, but we'll find out. Let's go and listen to what the coaches have to say.
Jedna sa strane. Seal, receive, half big. Now, let's open. Pinheiro, Remo, Water. Step. Drawing, man, here. I want a big man here, okay? 5, number 33, here. Drawing man here.
Well, there you can see our official sponsor, the Tissot Countdown to Tip-Off is underway, and a big shout out to Tissot for being a sponsor alongside the FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Go here. When he received the ball, I think in 5 guys. In travel. Okay, znači, jedan side čuvač.
Well, both coaches have got their final words in of inspiration. Tactics, of course, well out the window. These two teams know each other very well. Well, to all of our fans in Serbia, zdravo, kako se, dobrodošli, welcome to this big matchup. And to all of our fans watching from Puerto Rico, buenas tardes, bienvenidos a este partido. Let's get this party started. Bogdan Bogdanovic shaking hands with our officials. Puerto Rican players know full well that this is going to be a tough test, but as we said, Los Gigantes, the giant killers as they are known in Central America.
Yeah, no question. And their athleticism and intensity, hopefully can spark some turnovers for them, allow them to get into transition where they can be so dangerous.
Stefan Jovic has been a key veteran player. Did feature for Serbia in 2019 at the World Cup. They were eliminated eventually by Argentina. Again, that's an interesting story because that Serbian team were heavy favorites to take home the gold. What do you think in your mind, because you obviously coached against them, seeing how dominant they were in the group stage, what went wrong for them in the knockout stage?
Well, you know, sometimes when you've had so much success, the first time you face adversity, it can be challenging. So, you know, they beat everybody in their lead-up games to the World Cup by 15 points, get to the World Cup and kind of breeze through the group. So when they ran into their first challenge, didn't really have a whole lot of experience as a group as to how they wanted to handle things.
Well, as they would say in Serbia, Hajde Serbia, and in Puerto Rico, vamos Puerto Rico. Let's get this one started. Puerto Ricans having Isaiah Romero in the backcourt along with Thompson Jr. Tremont Waters just hanging in the corner. Got it by Stefan Jovic. Jovic knows his defensive duties tonight is to stop Waters from getting open looks, but they turn it over already. But look out below, ladies and gentlemen, have an easy little dunk in transition. Serbia converting the turnovers quickly into transition points. Great job by Dobric.
Yeah, and that's so frustrating. Your opening set, Thompson just can't get a handle on the pass, and it's an easy one for Serbia.
Serbia, the kind of team, if you make mistakes, they'll make you pay. If you get it right, they still might make you pay. And already an offensive foul. Very similar to the game against South Sudan. Puerto Rico, you know, not quite really into it.
Well, it's interesting, you know, they've gone with Waters off the ball in these first two sets. I mean, they tried to run the same set again here. You know, I don't know if that was just to start the game or if this is something we should look for the whole half.
Well, veteran player Stefan Jovic bringing the ball up here for Serbia. Well, here's the man they talk about quite a lot as being the future of Serbian basketball, Nikola Jovic. Jovic coming off one ball screen, kicks out to the other Jovic. Nikola Jovic from downtown. The three is up, and it's good. Well, that's one Jovic to another.
Yeah, and if he's going to hit threes like that, he's such a difficult cover with the ability to put it on the deck and his athleticism.
Jovic got the 3 points. Jovic got the assist. Right now, Serbia leading 5-0. Romero trying to set a ball screen for Thompson. Down the middle. It's a little teardrop. Can't get it. Serbia now quickly trying to push this one down the middle. Finds behind the back pass. Oh, Nikola Jovic made one three to get. He makes another one, and all of a sudden, Coach Kalan has to call timeout because you are witnessing greatness represented in the jerseys of Serbia.
Yeah, what a start for Serbia. You know, able to get out and transition on all of those possessions so far, and of course, Jovic knocking down the two big threes there.
Con la bola, Tremo. Okay. George here, George. Ismael y IP. Estamos aquí. You open, go with you. Screen, hand off between George and Steph. Hand off, okay? Tremo, you screen him, hand off. When you go here, fire action and you go.
Well, Jovic right now hitting back-to-back three-pointers to Eric Spoelstra. If you are watching, you are going to be smiling at the moment. But again, you don't want to be meeting Serbia here at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Bogdanovic finding Nikola Jovic. Again, he didn't take many three-pointers in the opening game against China. It looked like he lacked a lot of confidence, but this is a good sign from this young Miami Heat player.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the one element of his game that still needs to develop a little bit. I mean, very athletic, great ball handling ability for his size. So when he consistently knocks down that three, it's a very difficult cover for anybody.
Well, Coach Svetislav Pesic, very, very confident in this young man. Remember, Nikola Jovic, just like Nikola Jokic, coming from one of the best development academies in world basketball, and that is KK Mega Baskets. One of the, you know, in regards to some of the giants of Serbian basketball, really renowned for creating some of the best Serbian players.
Yeah, of course, Mishko and all of the talent he's developed there.
Well, Waters making it rain from downtown. Again, it's a good response for the Puerto Ricans. Serbia, a lot of assists. They got 30 in their game against China, 22 for Puerto Rico. Jovic going baseline, kicks out, good ball movement. Jovic has made 2 3-pointers. Can he make another one? Oh, you know that one went in.
Yeah, and you saw Puerto Rico going to a 2-3 zone there out of the timeout. Let's see if they stay in that.
Tops in the corner. Can they go back to back? And again, he handles that one, but it falls into the hands of Romero. Puerto Rico a bit of time. Waters needs to get his confidence going early on. Finds Romero, keeps it alive, and again, a nice little give-and-go play there.
Yeah, it's a nice pocket pass there from Waters. Great look in the middle, pick and roll.
Staying in his zone defense. Let's run a baseline. Kicks out from Milutinoff. Another three in the corner. Waters, yeah, surely they got to pull that. Waters just...
Yeah, and Dobrich able to get wide open there. Just a real simple baseline cut, trying to overload the zone. Puerto Rico lost track of him, so they're lucky that he missed that.
Baseline possession now here to Serbia. Puerto Rico going back to a matchup defense. They're trying to make it hot. It's Bogdanovic in the corner, can't get it. Milutinoff securing the offensive board. Post up against Romero again. The big man making it look textbook post play.
Yeah, if he catches it that deep, you're going to have to send some help there. He's just too efficient a scorer.
Thompson Jr. now running baseline. Kona did make one three-pointer against South Sudan. Is now Romero. Not renowned for shooting again. Not the kind of shot you're used to seeing him take. Nice dime going baseline, easy little reverse layup, and again, it's just beautiful basketball coming from Serbia.
Yeah, Puerto Rico back in that 2-3 zone, that possession as well, trying to find something to break the rhythm of Serbia here.
Well, Thompson trying to find Condit, just avoids a turnover. Condit going for a post-up. Waters has made 1-3, goes for another Hail Mary one, can't get it. Again, you're never gonna try and out-rebound Nikola Milutinoff. Jovic down the middle. He's trying to hang in the air, a bit of contact again. It's a smooth play off the backboard by Stefan Jovic. Just trying to attack the basket. That's much better, but he misses. A wide open layup, but he can't coach. You gotta like the intensity of Tremont Waters trying to break the defense down. Jovic has made 2 threes, and again, Troika. Make that 3 threes.
Yeah, he's really come out here and shot the ball well, giving the young player a lot of confidence here.
Well, Coach, we said it in the first game, the word for three-pointer in Serbia is Troika. If it becomes Troika time early on, this could be a problem for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, no question. Serbia with so many offensive weapons, it's hard to know where you need to focus defensively.
Boy, nowhere to go now. Has to put up a Hail Mary shot. Almost got it, but Condit now good. Fighting for the offensive board. Romero goes in. Foul has been committed by Stefan Jovic. Romero does hit the ground. Hopefully he's okay.
And that's where they had success against South Sudan. Offensively wasn't the best execution, but they were able to come up with the offensive rebound whenever they missed. So Romero and Condit both very active on the glass.
Well, look at the dime time coming from Stefan Jovic, finding Dobrich on the baseline. A man who's played in many clubs that have participated in the former FIBA Liga de las Americas, and more recently the BCL Americas. Makes the first free throw again. It's very fortunate that Puerto Rico won the game, because had they not won the game in overtime, it would have been very reminiscent to the NBA Finals Game 1 of Nick Anderson, Orlando Magic versus the Houston Rockets. 4 missed free throws, which it was taken to overtime by one Kenny Anderson. But, good to see him putting that basket down, stepping up to the free throw line, going 2 for 2.
Yeah, and he contributed to that win in so many other ways. Obviously, a lot of pressure in that situation to knock those free throws in, but I think he helped them in the overtime enough that he's forgotten about that.
Well, no doubt South Sudan will be watching this game after their victory against China, analyzing their next opponent, Serbia. A game in which they probably do have to win to try and cement any of the top 2 positions. Jovic on the baseline, goes to the mid-range. Again, it's just simply too easy for Nikola Jovic.
Well, Jovic obviously feeling it right now. Puerto Rico staying in that 2-3 zone, haven't been able to find a way to stop them defensively.
Break the defense down. Serbia making it very hot here for Puerto Rico. Now they're going to push this one. Dobrich pump fakes, tries another 3. And elbows this one, but nobody running here with Tremont Waters. Finds Howard. Howard going for the mid-range. He's got to make that one because nobody was going in for an offensive rebound. Puerto Rico do like to play quickly. If they're going to take those shots in transition, people need to crash the boards.
Yeah, Bogdanovich with an early one there. Hadn't touched the ball in a while.
John Holland tries a three-point again. Nothing dropping. These two teams firing back and forth.
Yeah, and you can see Jovic trying to slow it down. Make sure they get a quality possession here. Puerto Rico back to the man-to-man.
Jovic trying to go ball screen with Milutinoff. Trying to initiate that contact. Goes in with the left hand. He misses that one. Both teams just slightly out of sync here early on. Waters now step back. He's made 1 3. That's the front line. I mean, everything's looking good, but it's just not finishing. Yeah, Boggy, well, the nice follow-up by Dobrich.
Yeah, the problem with those early threes is the floor balance for your transition defense. You see Serbia taking advantage of it there.
Well, Howard goes for a three-pointer. Can't get it. I think Dobrich may have just rolled his ankle. Doesn't look like he's favored. The last thing Serbia needs is 2 players with ankle injuries. Jovic fakes the pass, goes in a nice little finger roll off the backboard.
Yeah, and Puerto Rico's got to figure something out here defensively. Really struggled with their man-to-man. Haven't seen a lot of pressure and trapping from them yet. Maybe that's something they can try.
Well, defending that ball screen with Stefan Jovic and Nikola Milutinov. Waters going backdoor. Pass out to Howard. Now we're under 10 here on the shot clock. Howard forced up another three-point again. It's not dropping right now. Well, look out below. Nikola Milutinov is going to throw it down. And all of a sudden now, Serbia find themselves up by 18 points in total control of this game.
Yeah, and you see those wild threes lead to transition for Serbia. So Puerto Rico's got to find a way to execute offensively, make sure they have floor balance when these shots go up.
Well, Condon's in the post. You got to get the ball to the big man. Condon turning around. Nice big move there by the big man.
Yeah, and that's a nice response. I think looking to play out of the post a little bit, making sure that your defense can get set from a quality shot. But they have to figure something out here.
Well, similar to the story with Joe Chi in China, if you get the ball in the post, build the confidence. Milutinov top of the key. He takes the mid-range. It's simply automatic by Nikola Milutinov.
Yeah, everything going Serbia's way right now offensively.
And we're trying to run around the defense. Getting another handoff. Comes up for a quick one. Well, the shot selection becoming a little bit erratic. What a time. Now we're trying to stop Jovic. Getting a wide open look. Well, Jovic has made 3 threes. Can't get the 4th one. He's now 3 for 5 from the perimeter. Howard goes for another 3 in transition. This time he gets it. Puerto Rico's fast-paced run and gun paying off in that offense.
Yeah, and that one more in rhythm, a catch and shoot. You know, nice job of Waters creating the shot there for Howard.
Now we're trying to defend Bogdanovich. Moscow finds Dobrich. Handled his last 3. Still can't get this one. Puerto Rico need numbers ahead. The foul has been committed. I think, I'm wondering if he's committed that foul because he wants to sub out the game, because he has been favoring that ankle. Serbia making a triple change in the moment. Did everything right there, but nobody came in to box out Dobrich. And that's got to be frustrating as a coach when someone makes the effort to get back and they miss the layup, but a second offensive play comes in for the follow-up.
And that's been the issue for Puerto Rico right now. Their transition defense, really struggling. A lot of that having to do with some of their poor shot selection.
Romero getting a handoff. Again, another corner 3. 3 is up, and again, Puerto Rico back-to-back triples, and that just builds their confidence early on.
Yeah, much better offensive execution. The ball moving side to side there, getting a quality shot.
Jovic finding Goodrich. He was off the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Goodrich tried to stand in the NBA with the Grizzlies. All comes up with a rebound. Puerto Rico trying to cut this down to maybe a 10-point ball game, possibly single digits, but they'd have to go for 3 consecutive three-pointers. Ristas has a switch on defense. Step back, 3 is up, and again, no good. They're trying to get end of the first quarter. Dobrich unable to convert that one. And Serbia currently lead by 12 points, 27-15 against Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico getting a little bit of a 6-0 run there in the last few offenses. But so far, I mean, Coach Pesch's team, they have been in control of this.
Yeah, no question. But a lot of that due to some of the poor shot selection from Puerto Rico, obviously starting with the turnovers, not the way you want to begin a game.
Well, there are the stats for Serbia right now. 3 3-pointers, or troikas as we call them, all made by Nikola Jovic, and the same goes for Puerto Rico. But let's listen now to what Pešić has to say. Well, here are some of the top plays of the first quarter. Well, Serbia, very similar to the Italians in the early stages. I mean, just thriving off the Puerto Rican turnovers and trying to push the tempo.
Yeah, I mean, they're so good. You've really got to be disciplined in what you do offensively. Turnovers, bad shots are going to lead to transition opportunities for them.
I mean, that case said, George Condit's over helping to try and help the pick and roll with Malutov. But, you know, it's really hard to try and assess this. But, you know, as a coach, how do you stop the Serbian pick and roll?
Well, you know, I don't think he's making a mistake there. You definitely want to pull in with Malutov rolling. You know, Jovic, not necessarily a knockdown shooter. Obviously, you know, feeling good right now, though.
And there was a nice little pick and roll sequence between Romero and Tremont Waters. But look at the no-look time, the movement of these Serbian players off the ball. I've always said this about players like Bogdanovic. When they don't have the ball in their hands, they're so good at running off screens and losing defenders.
Yeah, no question about that.
Well, use that QR code, ladies and gentlemen, for Courtside 1891 to get all the best streams, schedules, and scores. Remember, use that QR code. This is the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. The official platform for FIBA is Courtside 1891. Well, Serbia getting the first possession of the second quarter. Well, interesting now. Abramovich in the backcourt along with Guduric. She's trying to extend the minutes now. Abramovich going in, and he's going to get the ad one. He'll go to the free throw line. That's right off the beginning of the second quarter. That's got to be a huge blow to the Puerto Rican defense.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating there. Just the defensive focus really lacking so far in this game. You know, Holland blown by in the perimeter, but no rotation there to stop the ball.
Again, you know, Coach Colan's probably spoke about this all in the timeout. It's just like, it's very tough for these Puerto Rican players because at the end of the day, they're playing against the 6th ranked best team in world basketball under the FIBA World Rankings voted by Nike.
Well, no question. I mean, Serbia is a quality side, but Puerto Rico needs to put up a better fight so far to start this game. You know, maybe go to some trapping, some pressure, just something to try to wake these guys up a little bit.
Well, Howard in the backcourt. Again, Holland wasn't even wide open. They turned it over right away. Almost you can see without Tremont Waters on the floor here, they lack that stability in the backcourt.
Well, you know, it's just the intensity, and obviously, you know, this is the Serbian mantra of playing hard and physical, but Puerto Rico has not matched that so far.
Serbia leading by 15 points. Kristic, she was 100% from the perimeter last night, or 2 nights ago, excuse me, against China. Getting a handoff now. Guduric in around the defense, goes up, gets rejected, but the foul has been called against. I'm not sure if they called this against John Holland or Ismael Romero. So Holland's going to pick up the foul, but it's going to be 2 free throws coming up for Guduric. The reach right there, I guess. It was blocked, so it was the backboard who got them. Do backboards get stats?
Well, you know, Puerto Rico has to understand too, you know, Guduric is a left-hand dominant player, so that, you know, you've got to shade him a little bit, make him beat you with his weak hand there.
Well, Romero leaving the game right now. Puerto Rico have 6 players on the floor until Romero leaves. Well, Guduric makes the first one. It's interesting. You think about the impact and the role he had in 2019 as opposed to the role he's probably going to have for this team now. It's almost got more of a go-to playing option.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, from year to year, depending on who you have available, guys take on different roles. I mean, that's part of the national team experience. You know, depending on what window, who's available at that window, guys have to step up.
17 points deficit. Puerto Rico getting a ball reversal now, trying to find Reyes top, but no, they're going to go with Howard. Serbia anticipating everything off the ball. From the corner, they try another three. Three is up, no good. Condit needs a bit of help on the offensive boards, but now they got to get back on defense. Dovats, Ristich. Kovic now tries a shot. He can't get it, but this is now a chance for Puerto Rico to try and push this one. With a pump fake, he'll go baseline. Tries a little teardrop, front iron, can't get it. Abramovich going all the way, and again, the execution in transition from the Serbia team simply becomes undeniable. Thompson going in and around, forces up a circus shot, but gets his own rebound. Puerto Rico trying to find something with Ortiz here, top of the key again. That will settle their nerves down just when they were unable to find any identity in their offense.
Yeah, they just have to chip away at this slowly, make sure they're executing offensively, playing solid defensively. Can't get it all back in a rush.
Ristich pump fakes, gets a high foul by Thompson. So Ristich will go to the free throw line here for 2 shots. That was a dump down pass from Abramovich. Well, that's quite a hot foul.
See Condit caught a little too high there in the pick and roll, allowing his man to roll behind him.
You know, collectively, this team was very superior when they played against China. This man, of course, the old saying, the old-fashioned pick and pop, which led to him having 4 3-point field goals in that big victory against China. Missing both free throws, but not boxing out the shooter. Puerto Rico right now had the last donut, but nobody called it box out. And Ristich punishes Puerto Rico after missing 2 free throws. Well, that's got to be frustrating for Coach Colon.
Well, especially there, the Serbians had actually left the free throw block, getting back on defense, and the ball just bounced right back to the shooter.
Howard from the mid-range. Condit with the offensive rebound. Finds Reyes. Reyes pump fakes. We go for another 3 from the perimeter. That's too flat, but Condit trying to keep everything. Davidovic comes up with it. Makes the pass. Marinkovic goes up. No foul calls, but no protest from Marinkovic. Foul is going to be called, so that's going to be a foul on the ground. That's only the first team foul for Serbia here in the second quarter.
Yeah, but transition defense continues to be a problem for Puerto Rico. Got to make sure they have guys back, get the ball contained. Serbia's so good if they get into the open floor.
Tremont Waters coming back into the game for Howard. The one player that can inspire their offense. Puerto Rico trying to go to that dribble handoff. Reyes in the lane, goes up with it. Not get it. Serbia come up with a loose ball. Ivanovic finds Marinkovic. Oh, Goodrich is wide open, but again, they take their time on offense. Goodrich nowhere to go, but a foul has been called. That's the last team foul for Puerto Rico to give away already here in the second quarter. That's going to be against George Condit. That's his second personal foul, so I wonder now, yeah, Colon's going to make a change.
Yeah, nothing going Puerto Rico's way right now. They have to figure out something to get a little bit of a rhythm here. Obviously can't erase that lead in 6 minutes, but need to find some momentum they can take into the half.
Well, easy backdoor play. Nobody came to switch, and Davidovic. Well, I don't think you get a more wide open look like that unless you're in the 2-line layups in the warm-up.
You know, that just kind of summarizes this half so far. A real lack of focus defensively and intensity-wise.
Well, Waters finding Romero. Rico desperately needs some impetus in their offense. The foul has been drawn against Goodrich. Well, that's going to be a sideline ball to Puerto Rico. Goodrich is going to get called for it, but again, You just have to appreciate the intensity of the serve. Waters maybe have got away there.
Yeah, you know, I think he's obviously frustrated there. You know, Waters being the smaller player, he's just trying to draw contact there. Lucky to get the whistle.
And Waters getting the love pass on the baseline. Pump fakes. Nice recovery. The three is up. It's a good look, but he's got to finish that one. Dovats now down the middle. Finds Marikovic. Marikovic tries to thread again. It's just simply firing from all cylinders for Serbia. As now Coach Kolar calls timeout. It's Troika time. Let me tell you that right now. Serbia already 41 points. We haven't even played. We're not even at halftime yet.
Yeah, and you know, beautiful ball movement there. Ivanovic, the left-handed shooter, that's what he does. But Serbia seemingly every single time running the floor, finding these open shooters.
We got the ball here. Tremon, Ismael y Chris. Estamos aquí. Guy, whatever. Guy and guy. Los dos guys. Vamos aquí. Double drag. Double drag. Let Chris first. Chris first. Ismael segundo. Double drag. Here. Ismael screen a Chris. Giran a shot. Ismael abajo. Chris. Remo. Pitch. Hand off. Ismael sube screen. Four corners. Relocate. Ok, voy de nuevo. Remo, Chris, Ismael. Double drag. Chris go here, Ismael. Screen. Remo with Chris. Nothing happened, Chris. Screen otra vez.
A much needed timeout there for Coach Kalam, because at the moment his players, the transition defense we talked about, but you know, it's really tough because if you turn the ball over in your own half, you have to make every single effort to get back on defense.
Yeah, you know, it's not just the turnovers though. I mean, their offense as well. Some of these shots early in the possession, no floor balance, allowing Serbia to get out and run.
Can we please comment on that fans mask there? That is something, I think that's hoops plus Spartica, what do you call it? Basketball Tartica? I don't know, that was really bad there. But I gotta pay a lot of homage to that Puerto Rican fan. I know what I'm gonna dress up at Halloween as next summer. 24-point lead for Serbia. Again, just demonstrating why they're one of the best national teams there in the world. No doubt could definitely be a top contender. An offensive foul's gonna be called. I'm not sure who they call this one on.
Yeah, and that's Romero's third foul, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry, that's his first foul. But again, nothing going Puerto Rico's way. Coming out of the timeout, getting the offensive foul.
Dovats is the one who got hit on the illegal screen. Bogdanovic back in the game. Comes over the loose ball in the middle, can't get it. Bogdanovic, even though his team is winning by 24 points. A nice pass finds Romero. Damn it, Dovats with the block. Oh, what a rejection. Down the middle. Finds Ristic with a little jump hook. Nice play there by Ristic. Trying to go for three in the corner. Can't get it. Serbia come up with another rebound. Down to Dovats. Finds Gitterich, wide open. Three is up, and another Troika. Make that number 5 for Serbia. Well, Coach, this could become a problem now for Puerto Rico because the lead is getting bigger and bigger now. Can Puerto Rico get the three in the corner? Nothing dropping. Serbia getting out in transition. Bogdanovic just falling to the ground. This is going to be a jump ball called, so ball will go back to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, all of these missed shots from Puerto Rico leading to Serbian runouts. Obviously, Serbia very difficult to handle in the open court like that. But Puerto Rico's got to figure out a way to chip at this thing. You know, obviously, they're not going to get all of it back in a hurry, but so far haven't been able to find any kind of rhythm whatsoever offensively and really been lacking the intensity needed to compete with a team like Serbia.
It's now a 29-point ball game. Serbian fans rocking into the building here tonight. Listen to their chants. It's a beautiful sign to see those fans, as well the Puerto Rican fans too. Waters now, nowhere to go. Finds Romero. Romero goes up, and again, much needed throwdown there for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, maybe that can wake them up. You know, Romero with that veteran experience needs to fire this group up somehow.
Well, they need confidence. Dovats going down low to Milutinov. He's up in the post, moves on the big man. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to be that deep on a post catch, it's very difficult to stay one-on-one there.
Waters going baseline, looks for a kick out. Thompson Jr. in the corner, runs its way in and out. This time Puerto Rico get the offensive board. Trying to go to Toro down lane. Toro, no foul called. Well, Serbia can go to 50 points here. Bogdanovic, quick three. Three is up, no good. Well, that's the kind of game he does play in the NBA with the Atlanta Hawks. He's very much a sniper in transition. Waters finds Toro. Toro goes up in a nice little play there between Tremont Waters and Toro.
Yeah, nice there, roll there.
Well, he goes for another three. This time he gets the troika. Well, he gets troika time going. Serbia right now, they've taken a lot of three-pointers. No doubt, I mean, he is arguably the face of this team along with Nikola Milutinov, so he is entitled to take those kind of shots.
Well, I think it's that, you know, he hasn't been involved in the offense for a little while, probably wanting to try to find a little bit of a rhythm there. The last two shots pretty aggressive.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, look out below. Here comes Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic got the steal and quickly took that one coast to coast. 32-point lead to Serbia. Serbian fans letting their voices be heard. Puerto Rico going for another three-point. That's a nice response there. The penetration by Waters, kicking out to the open three-point shot.
Yeah, and that's what a lean forward can do for them. Great catch and shoot player.
2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Milutinov being guided by Romero. Milutinov too big. Yeah, can't finish that one. Thompson Jr. Puerto Rico living and dying by the three-point shot. And again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, they're going to need Thompson to return to the form he showed in their first game.
He's being guided by Thompson. He's going baseline fadeaway, doesn't get it. Puerto Rico now potentially could go on a 8, maybe 9-0 run here. They got back-to-back three-pointers. Waters looking for the cross court, takes deflection. That will be deep on the baseline possession to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and Ford missed Thompson in the corner there in that transition, but you see here Toro with a nice roll and finish. What's been scarier, his mask or Puerto Rico's offense so far in this game?
Well, the floater in the lane now. Toro gets the offensive board. Well, Thompson was wide open. He could have got a better shot in the corner, but now Serbia, with a minute to go here, leading by 26. He gets away with a travel there, but it doesn't matter because Marinkovic finishing under pressure inside the paint. Well, too predictable. Telegraph the pass. Bogdanovic finds Jovic. Points of separation. Jovic fakes the pass. Jovic goes all the way, but the follow-up by Nikola Milutinov. And Puerto Rico pay the price for not boxing out.
Yeah, just not enough of resistance there from the perimeter. You need to see Puerto Rico step up their intensity and pressure to have a chance of coming back in this game.
2 seconds difference between game clock and shot clock. Puerto Rico will probably want to finish the first half on something positive. Time winding down now for Waters. Tries a no-look dime. Romero nowhere to go. He's got to shoot this. 24-second violation. No, he got it off. Oh, baby! That's going to be a 24-second violation. I think that is the right decision. That's still impressive, though, they got it off in time.
No, you know, definitely I think the shot clock went off there. Just adding to the frustrations of Puerto Rico in this half.
So they have to make sure there's a little bit of time because the difference was 3.1 seconds, which is more than enough time for Serbia to get the ball inbound and to find something good. Finding Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic, turnaround, quick three, doesn't get it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first half, it is Serbia who lead this one by 30 points. 57-27 against Puerto Rico in their second group game here at the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Well, again, it's been brilliant. It's exemplified by one of the greatest teams in the world.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Serbia, you know, just an offensive machine. Everybody that touches the floor for them, skilled, able to put in the basket. But, you know, Puerto Rico's really hurt themselves. You know, not just the turnovers, but the shot selection and a real lack of intensity defensively.
Well, there are the stats so far. 5 3-pointers out of 19 come from Serbia, but again, you look at the rebounds. 27 boards opposed to 19 for Puerto Rico and 14 assists. But, you know, what does Puerto Rico have to do defensively? You talk about transition defense. Maybe it's not. I mean, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's just a general competitive spirit that's been lacking. I mean, you have to know when you're going up against Serbia, not only are they extremely talented, but they play very hard and physical. So if you don't come into that game with the right mentality, you can see what can happen to you. You know, the turnover differential 7-1, and I think just forcing one turnover is indicative of where their intensity's been on the defensive end.
Well, 5 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists coming from Bogdanovic. Tremont Waters with that 1 3-pointer. He has 3 rebounds and 4 assists so far. Both players with NBA experience. And at the moment, it is Serbia who have a 30-point lead here against Puerto Rico, and it's only looking like one direction right now for Puerto Rico unless they can turn this around. Well, momentarily, we're going to show you the top plays from the second quarter. But since it is halftime, go get a drink, go get something to eat. Don't go anywhere too long because we'll be back. Well, they started with 3 3-pointers in the first quarter from Nikola Jovic. Avramovic taking John Holland right to school there. No help side defense, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, and that was kind of the story of the whole half. Just not enough intensity there. Able to get from the perimeter all the way to the rim.
Again, you just see how quickly, whenever Serbia come up with a loose ball, defensive rebound, they get the ball so quickly up the floor.
Yeah, floor balance has been a real problem for Puerto Rico. So, you know, we know they're going to take a lot of threes, but they have to have people back. Serbia able to run on them almost every time when they've missed perimeter jump shots.
You know, people need to realize as well, Serbia, a basketball country, the expectations, sometimes they're almost too high, and that's the why they play at the level they do.
No question. I think, you know, that's why for this group, you know, it's interesting. So much pressure generally put on this squad, but, you know, maybe this is the year where they can play a little bit looser than what they've had in the past. Obviously sharing the ball beautifully in this first half.
Well, that would be monumental for Serbian basketball. Again, in 2019, they were heavy favorites to win the championship, falling short, of course. They did defeat the United States in that World Cup, but it was not stage of competing for any medal. So again, after losing in the Eurobasket last summer, this could be the summer. Those fans have made the journey from the Balkans here to beautiful Southeast Asia. Well, basketball fans, again, we thank you for joining us. We'll be back for the second half in just under 12 minutes. Serbia currently leading by 30 points against Puerto Rico.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
Dumping down low, and how about that? And one by Rusele. And Latvia just not ready to defend the out-of-bounds play.
That's all it was.
Shot clock. How about that? say. Tough shot. He gets it up, and it's good! As he is going to put France up 33-26 after 10. How about that?
And Lebanon in the first game, and it is through their defense, their offensive rebound, and all those things.
Welcome to the world, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. How easy does he make it look?
Too easy.
Mills looking for some help.
Give me a spell.
Wow.
Give me a smell!
He's got 13.
My goodness!
Oh, hello.
Good night.
Great pass. It's an easy pass, I guess, when you've got a guy like Markkanen with his size.
Kawamura shakes again, this time Kanturi, and he makes it in his eye. Japan, a 4-point lead, and this guy's got ice in his veins.
Oh, pump fakes the pass, goes in. Tries to go for the tip in. No good. Now Angola can push this. Down 5 feet off Fernando and Boa Noiche. Good night. Fernando with no regard for the transition defense.
That was a vicious finish there from Fernando.
Oh, RJ Barrett!
Haydar stayed down after that. You got a picture of him there, like he sort of rolled it.
Backdoor feed, Giddy. That shot always 100%.
Well, that was through Tiemann, who went up with Giddy, and Giddy was still able to knock it down.
Away in the flush. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Well, in 5 minutes, we're going to continue with the match Puerto Rico versus Serbia. Serbia were dominating in the first half. Let's see what will happen in the last 2 quarters and in the fourth. And also, we'd like to ask you for cooperation because we can register to take part in a FIBA basketball program that has been even research and stand a chance to win signing prizes. How to get into the fan research is quite easy. You just scan this QR code that is visible right now on the giant screen. So scan the code, please. Take part in the fan research and you have a chance to win exciting prizes. In case you want to get the fan memorabilia immediately without taking part in the fan research, there are the fan shows of the concourse of Ireland. This you, Palmer Card, and you will find everything what you need. The t-shirts, the caps, even the rolls, the small chips. We have so many of them, so go there definitely. But now, it's time to get ready for the second half. And it's time also for our show DJ. Here she is, Ara.
Than what we've seen. They just need to bring more intensity and energy to what they're doing, make Serbia at least play in a half court and try to get that man right there, Waters, going somehow.
Puerto Rico, of course, playing in 14 FIBA Basketball World Cups, and this being their 10th consecutive. But yeah, I think the golden generation for Puerto Rico basketball, or near there, was in 2004 when they were led by Carlos Arroyo.
Well, no question, but you know, long history of success. They've been on this stage quite a bit, and they understand too there's more to play for than just this game. So we're looking at a three-way tie. That point differential becomes really important.
Well, Nikola Milutinov having a fantastic season in the EuroLeague with Olympiacos, making it to the final in Kaunas, but losing to one Real Madrid in that very close matchup. But right now he's going to be thinking about national team duties. 4 years ago, he was here with Bogdan Bogdanovic and Stefan Jovic, and their hearts were broken as they got close to the knockout stage. You know, looking at the team so far, you know, the FIBA World Cup is being hosted in Jakarta, Okinawa, Japan, and here in Manila. You know, there are a lot of European teams that potentially could knock on the door for a championship.
Well, of course, and you know, with France going down out of the group early, really opening it up for somebody else. You know, maybe it's Germany. Huge win against Australia the other night, but this tournament is wide open.
Well, let's listen now to what the coaches have to say. Well, White Pescic is having his words there. There's your QR code for the official FIBA Basketball World Cup app. Download on your smartphone, your tablet, or your Android. To get all the best news, stats, and highlights that matter to you most, use that QR code and download it today. Well, Serbia will get the first possession here of the second half, and you know, the question I asked you, where in the last FIBA World Cup, when you were in the same group, coaching Angola, Serbia breezed right through the group, and they didn't really get that challenge until they got to the knockout stage. Do you find that right now they're trying to make it more of a collective effort to get everybody involved so that they can prepare themselves for that challenge?
Well, you know, I mean, that's the Serbian brand of basketball. So, you know, sharing the ball, moving it side to side. You saw 14 assists to just 1 turnover in that first half. So they can do it as a collective group.
Well, Romero comes up with a steal, and again, look out below, ladies and gentlemen. Romero getting a two-handed jam in the first 2 points for Puerto Rico here in the second half.
And that's the life we need to see from this Puerto Rican team. You know, get into passing lanes, be aggressive on the perimeter, see if you can force some turnovers.
Jovic finding Milutinoff under the basket. Big Mac kicks out to Bogdanovic in the corner. The three-pointer no good. By 28 points. Pinheiro didn't play much in the second quarter. You got Waters and Thompson here in the backcourt. 10 here on the shot clock now. Pinheiro's got to find something. First a three-pointer. 3 is up, and a 3 is good. And a positive start here for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and just have to chip away at this. You know, they realize they can't get it all back at once. So just play solid basketball here, possession after possession.
Serbia finding the handoff with Dobric. Time winding down here on the shot clock. Boggy's got to get something in. Boggy hangs in the lane now. Gets his own rebound. Missed a putback. Puerto Rico survived yet again another offense. Can they extend their run even further? Waters, quick 3, transition. Almost got it. That would have been big for their confidence. Foul has been committed. Of course, you know, that three-pointer Tremont Waters took in transition, some will probably say it's a quick shot, but with the momentum and confidence they're trying to build, those are the kind of shots we're going to see Puerto Rico take.
Well, you know, I'm not that mad at that one. You know, as we see Romero here with the steal, you know, he's a guy that can heat up. He was open and was in rhythm, and with the score being what it is now, they're going to have to make some early threes.
Jovic coming off a ball screen with Milutinoff. Tries to run around another one. Jovic reverse slab and a nice little response. Just how crisp and quickly Serbia moved the ball even inside congested areas.
Yeah, beautiful ball movement there. Great give and go from Jovic and Milutinoff.
Thompson down the middle. Nowhere to go here. Again, turning it over. This is where Serbia had been lethal. Birch, what about the three-pointer? Goes in for the floater. Doesn't get the ad one, but he draws a foul. And he will go to the free throw line here for 2 shots.
And once again, you see Puerto Rico struggling to match up in transition here. Dobric realizing he wasn't guarded, instead of taking the 3, able to drive to the rim and draw the foul.
Oh, it's Thompson. Thompson is one who committed the unnecessary swipe. May have cost George Condit of drawing a charge.
Well, it looked like Condit might have been in the charge circle there.
Okay, so legal error, I get that. Well, Dobric coming to the free throw line. When you look at the mindset of these Serbian players approaching this FIBA World Cup, I mean, it's almost like the mindset they have is they have a point to prove that they have to earn the right to show that they are a title contender. Whereas last time, it was almost like everyone expected them to win the championship.
Well, you know, like I said, a little less pressure on them right now. You know, playing more as a team, but still having the same level of success.
Well, double dribble called against Puerto Rico and another turnover. John Holland currently watching on the bench for the Puerto Ricans. Boggy go for the handoff. Nice interception by Waters. They've got numbers now. Romero going into the lane now. Hangs in the air. Onto the offensive rebound. The big man with the putback. That's 7 points already for Puerto Rico here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and a huge difference in their intensity levels. You know, already forcing more turnovers than they did the entire first half.
exactly the fight that Puerto Rico needs to play with. Remember, their last game will be against China, who already have lost both of their opening games. Jovic kicks out. Down the middle, there's the block from Romero. A nice little move there by Dobrich.
Yeah, Pinheiro needs to know better. You know, Dobrich struggling from the outside lately. Needs to play him as a driver there, give him a little bit of a cushion.
Pinheiro making 2 threes already. Positive play here for the Puerto Ricans, and their fans rallying behind their players. Foggy backdoor play, intercepted by Pinheiro. And Puerto Rico continue to pile on the pressure. Waters now putting on the moves, kicks out Thompson. He'll take a big 3. 3 is up. 3 is good. Well, this is much better, and now Svetislav Pesic looking fairly disappointed with his team. Calls timeout as the 30-point lead has been cut down to 22.
Yeah, and that's how they need to play. Interesting adjustment. They've gone to 1 through 5 switching defensively. I think that's a good move from Coach Colon, able to slow down that Serbian offense a little bit.
Let's go and listen now.
It's time for you, Serbia!
Znači, dva side, pokrenem, dva side, 25.
Well, Pesic seems relatively calm in that timeout. Not too much of an overreaction from him.
Yeah, he's just trying to settle down his group a little bit. I mean, you would expect Puerto Rico to come out a little bit more fight in this second half. I think the biggest thing is talking about how they want to attack that defense now that they're switching 1 through 5. Probably look to set some fault screens, see if they can get Milutinov in the post with a smaller guard on that switch.
Well, Serbia trying to settle into the second half. Jovic here in the backcourt along with Nikola Jovic. Find a Boggy in the corner. The one play you don't want to leave wide open because he will punish you. The intensity from the Puerto Ricans has been better so far here in the third quarter. It splits down to defense. Pinheiro's got 2 3-pointers. Pump fakes. Kicks out to Thompson Jr. He's made a 3 already. Makes another one. I think that's 4 3-pointers already here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and they're moving the ball much better, finding these shots in rhythm, making a big difference.
Here's top now. Got it by Condit. He's going to be called on Thompson. That's the 3rd team foul against Puerto Rico here in the third. That's on whatever it is.
Yeah, clearly a foul there. Great job of Bogdanovic. Came off that little slice cut, stopped under the basket. Once he felt Thompson there, then broke to the outside. All Thompson could do was grab him.
Bogdanovic, one of the toughest players in world basketball to defend when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Goes backdoor it. It's just faking it around double clutch.
Yeah, and that's frustrating. That's just much too easy. Simple pick-to-picker play. No communication from Puerto Rico on that back screen.
Waters comes up a ball screen. Can't get this one. I don't think Tremont Waters won't lack his pure confidence in the ability to shoot the 3-pointer. Foggy down the middle. Has been called. Puerto Rican fans definitely disappointed. They thought there was a delay in the call. So 2 free throws coming up for Bogdanovic. No arguments whatsoever on that one.
Yeah, and interestingly, out of the timeout, they've gone back to just a traditional drop coverage there in the pick and roll. Had a little bit of success with that 1 through 5 switching. Let's see if they go back to that after this free throw.
Well, Boggy hits him first free throw. It's interesting, last summer Bogdanovic unable to be with Serbia during the FIBA Eurobasket. They did have Nikola Jokic, but think Serbia would fancy their chances to be in the semifinals for sure, but there's so many talented teams. You know, we talked about Germany, Australia, Lithuania. I mean, this is going to be a very exciting FIBA Vassal World Cup.
Yeah, no question. I think it's really up for grabs. A lot of teams playing at a very high level right now.
Pinheiro's made 2 threes here in the third. Can he make it 3? He is on fire at the moment.
Yeah, good find there from Waters, going in, making the right play.
Puerto Rico just count this quarter as 0-0. They are in the lead so far. Have a 7-point deficit here that Puerto Rico are leading by, but now they have to try and stop Milutinov. Doesn't get a foul now. Milutinov going in. Too big, too strong, and just too good by Nikola Milutinov.
Yeah, he's such a load down there on the block. I think they have to come down and dig that ball out. You know, once they see that deep catch, that's going to be trouble.
We'll just find a Pinheiro. Gets blocked. Oh, they're going to call a foul there against Bogdanovic. And, well, Boggy doesn't have too much protest, but does have a smile on his face. Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, he got him in. Well,
yeah, that's a foul. No. That's a foul. You would have seen a much bigger protest if that had been all ball.
Oh, it's been a productive third quarter for him, getting 3 good looks on the perimeter. Now a chance to put 3 free throws on the board here for the Puerto Ricans. You know, definitely, you know, the comeback would be great, of course, if they can make it happen, but if they don't, the way they're playing now, these are huge positives that they can take into their final game against China.
No question, and you know, obviously point differential comes into play, but also, like you said, some momentum. Really disappointing first half for them just in terms of competitive spirit, so it's good to see them coming out here with a lot more intensity, sharing the ball better on offense.
Pinheiro goes 3 for 3 now. Well, he's got 12 points all here in the third quarter. Thompson Jr. going to the bench to take a bit of a breather. So they currently have Tremont Waters and Howard here in the backcourt. They're trying to contest the passes. 4 minutes to go. Puerto Rico, no more fouls to give. They're going to call a foul here, and the Puerto Rico fans infuriated with that decision. So a few words there between Tremont Waters and Bogdanovic.
Yeah, it's really good action there from Serbia. Get the ball movement side to side, but it goes down into the post. And then Milutinov comes with what we call grenade action. So he's down on that low block, but instead of scoring, he dribbles it out into the handoff for Bogdanovic.
Maybe at times, if it's mental or physical fatigue, but he hasn't looked as confident as he, you know, like not lacking confidence, but not as much in rhythm as we usually do see him, of course, in the shot.
Yeah, no question. I mean, this is 2 games now where he's been a little bit off. Scary to think because that Serbian offense has really been flowing without him. So, you know, you add him to the mix, that's a lot to handle. But you can tell he's trying to find his rhythm. You know, he pressed a little bit at the end of that first half, trying to get some shots going. I'm sure we'll see a little bit more aggression from him here.
Foul has been committed. So going to be the second team foul against Serbia here in the third quarter. Serbia going with a double change. Jovic. Uniforms are coming on as Guduric and Abramovic. Looks like Bogdan. Serbia have 6 players on the court right now. So Dobric has left the floor. Lead is 23. Pinheiro leading the way so far, but he's going to turn it over. Trying to save this one for going out of bounds. 7 here on the shot clock for Puerto Rico. Finds Waters. Waters got to go all the way. Hangs up in the air. And does he get the and one? But no, he'll go to the free throw line. 4-2 shots.
Yeah, unlucky break there from Serbia. Abramovic really read that pass well. And that's a tough call. You can see Jovic's frustration there. Pretty good verticality.
Well, he really is a game changer. You like the style and tempo this young man plays at, but you know, one thing that's very admirable is it's frightening how much confidence he has in his shot.
Well, you know, when he gets going, he can hit them from deep, and we saw that against South Sudan. And, you know, right now they're going to need him to be aggressive offensively. So I think he's done a nice job in this second half of taking what was there, but, you know, always with confidence, I think.
Get down to a 21-point deficit. A lot of positives for him to take for his team so far here in the second half. John Holland coming in for Tremont Waters. So Howard will shift over to play the main point guard role for Puerto Rico. Here's finding Bogdanovic. Down low, finds Malutsanov. Malutsanov goes up and gets rejected. Well, Condit with a big-time block. There's the alley-oop, but again, too much on that. A little bit over-ambitious there from Howard. Trying to say it went out of bounds, so it will be possession back to Serbia. Well, Malutsanov just got a taste of no en mi casa. Tu no eres bienvenido. Condit, the solid rim protection for Puerto Rico. Points, still the separation. Boggy killing the screen. Finds Malutsanov again. Takes a tough one. Jovic baseline. Jovic. Did he just switch the ball from his right to left when he went for that one?
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful possession. You see the ball movement, everybody touching it. Starts with Bogdanovic's cut. They just really know how to play. You know, it makes it so hard to guard them because you're constantly having to defend scoring action.
John Holland has been one of those veteran, world-class professionals currently playing for Hapoel Tel Aviv in the Israeli Winter League. Interesting enough, he had a Puerto Rican teammate when he played for Hapoel Jerusalem just prior to the global pandemic. James Feldine, one of the top international Puerto Rican players, who also actually, funny enough, went back and played for Hapoel Tel Aviv, so they were teammates twice on two teams. Two Hapoels, two different cities. Jovic makes the second free throw. Puerto Rico trying to get the ball inbound. Serbia going to a man-to-man defense. Down low to Toro. Jovic kicks out to Holland. Holland pump fakes. Yeah, another three-point. This one not good though. In transition now, trying to find options. Goodrich on the corner. It's going to be a turnover here for Serbia.
Yeah, that's a lucky break. You know, once again, Puerto Rico scrambling to match up there. They had Condit running out to try to cover that corner. Abramovich just not aware of the line on the catch.
Now you can just hear the Serbian fans slowly just trying to get their voices heard in the arena. They have been fantastic so far in the first two games. Finds Howard now. Good time and space. Another three-point again. Puerto Rico, they have been lighted up here in the third quarter. And who knows, Coach? 19 points of deficit. We got a whole nother quarter to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see them fighting here. Howard's another guy that can get rolling.
Serbia have been out of rhythm so far here in the third quarter. Holland comes over to steal. That goes out of bounds, but that will remain possession back to Puerto Rico. They're trying to say to Coach Pescic to go for the coach's challenge. Yep, he's going to go for it. So they get one coach's challenge.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny in those instances when your star player is telling you as the coach to challenge, you kind of have to do it. You know, I think typically you want to keep that in your pocket to maybe the fourth quarter, something more important, but he's got to support Bogdanovic here.
Well, let's have a look now. Listen to our officials. See what they're going to decide.
Ball goes up and down. So now it's a white touch, go, white touch still. Nobody touch anymore, so blue ball, okay? Okay, it's okay, we don't need anymore. After review, the call is overturned, it will be blue ball side out. You sure?
So successful coach's challenge. Possession will go back to Serbia. There is Johan Rosso, one of the best referees in international basketball, refs in the French Pro A and LMB. Also, our other referees, Leonardo Salazar from Argentina and Carlos Peralta from Ecuador. They're the very best that we have here in the international game. Now, so I think what they're trying to decide, Coach, is that should not be a fresh 24 on the shot clock because Puerto Rico technically didn't have full possession.
Yeah, you know, that would be the one I think I'd go back to look at. Did Holland initially and then lose it after that? Clearly the officials felt that he did have possession and then in that first dribble lost control of it.
So 9 seconds left here on the shot clock.
Oh yeah, you know, they've overturned it, so just a deflection there.
We're just looking to attack quickly. Lean forward now, finding Milutinov. Milutinov goes up, no foul call, good defense. Puerto Rico, again, game clearly not over right now. Remember, they were down by 30 points at halftime. 1 point difference here in the third quarter. Good anticipation there by Nikola Milutinov. Howard was going to be wide open after making a previous three-pointer.
And you can see the energy levels of Puerto Rico continuing with the bench players coming in. Much better cutting and movement on offense here.
On a backdoor, Howard quickly from the mid-range, takes it, doesn't get it. Toro with the offensive board. Holland, three, corner, fires it, got it! Now it's a 16-point ball game.
Well, we saw them come back against South Sudan, so they have the confidence of knowing they can climb out of big deficits.
Really slicing that 30-point lead in half, but now it's a 16-point deficit. Ramovich down the middle. Kicks out here to Shanich. A deep three is up, no good, and every missed attempt here. Puerto Rican confidence building more and more. It's holding down to the three-point shooting by the Puerto Ricans. On top of the key. Trying to go for a lob pass, but good defense by Milutinov. Now a chance to silence his. Oh, it's got to be a charge. Surely it's got to be a charge, yeah. Well, great job by Howard. Anticipating the offensive foul. And Serbia coach completely out of rhythm.
Yeah, and you know, Howard really sacrificing his body there. You can see the improved transition defense, getting bodies back now. Nice play by Howard there.
Well, this Puerto Rican team, and the spirit, the heart, you know, if they do lose this game, even though I say that we have a full quarter to go, there's a lot of positives that they will take from this performance in the third quarter.
Well, definitely, you know, the spirit to come out and fight. You know, that was lacking in the first half for whatever reason. But it's great to see them here competing and chipping away at this lead.
Well, team fouls now, so it's going to be 2 free throws coming up for the big man, George Condit. So Johnson shaped this down to a 14-point deficit. This has been incredible, truly inspiring to watch. Big man missed the free throw. Condit's got to step up, make these. Again, it's been inspiring to see this team come so far. He can slice the 30-point deficit in half. But Serbia will get the ball back for potentially the very last possession of the third quarter. 1 out of 2 down for Condit. Serbia with Avramovic in the backcourt along with Samanic. Trying to go that pick and roll with Milutinov. Finds Boggy. Avramovic looking to go baseline. Holland with a good defense. Boggy now has to go with a fadeaway. A much needed 2 points there for Serbia. Throws up the long one. But ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the third quarter, it's been a true showcase here for the Puerto Ricans. A nice finish by Bogdan Bogdanovic. Going baseline. Toro coming for the help side defense. A smooth fadeaway, but we've got to pay homage to Puerto Rico. Big time performance.
Yeah, I mean, they really stepped up their intensity there in the third quarter. Also offensively, much better job of moving the ball and cutting without the ball. Just an overall increase in energy level.
Now the audience
Totalno drugačije igra.
A, B, C, and D in place. Either
Imali su 5-1, 6-1 I ovo je 6-1, a sada 7-6.
She's out of the game. Now, Eva, you can open your eyes. Wonderful. So, your first choice.
Popravljajte igru odmah. Odmah da se popravi igra.
D. Okay.
Nemo da se brukamo, da budemo provincijski tim.
Well, it started with a steal here by Ismael Romero, but coach, we saw the stats there. 12 three-point field goals from Puerto Rico. That has got to be incredible. I mean, they got a higher three-point percentage in Serbia.
Yeah, and not only that, shooting better from 3 than they are from 2. Much better job there in that quarter of moving the ball, finding shots in rhythm. Easier for guys to knock it down that way.
Well, Stefan Jovic, one of the veterans of this Serbian team, playing the backcourt, but Tremont Waters, 3 three-pointers, 12 points. Remember, he had 3 free throws as well. Isaiah Pinheiro, a player that you're quite familiar with as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've had to compete against him quite a bit. Not always the shooter that we've seen in this game going 3 for 3, but, you know, always a tough defender, perimeter player.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. We're going into the 4th quarter between Serbia and Puerto Rico. And if you want to watch more action, use that QR code to download Courtside 1891 to get all the best streams, schedules, and scores. Download the app, use that QR code now. This is the 19th edition of World Basketball's highest competition. And at the moment, Serbia, well, there you can see the player energy tracker between Condit and Nikola Milutinov.
Yeah, both bigs battling there. That's a tough cover for Condit, but I think he's done a solid job. You know, also interesting stat, 5 turnovers that quarter for Serbia. They only had 1 the entire first half.
Only coming off the screen, finding Toro. Pinheiro for another 3. He's going to fire so far. Go for the offensive rebound. They can't finish it. Those are putbacks that Puerto Rico have to take advantage of. Reach over the cross-court. Marinkovic, he'll take the 3-pointer. Doesn't get it, but Serbia battling for offensive rebounds. Puerto Rico will survive.
And you can see, you know, the spirit of the group starting to pick up. I think they're believing they can continue to chip away at this. Good set to start the quarter there for Pinheiro. Let's see what they run here.
Takes a screen, picks up the teardrop off the backboard. A nice little kiss off the glass. Now it's a 15-point ball game.
And Howard can really feel it when he gets going. So maybe that's a shot that is going to give him some confidence and rhythm.
Serbia went quite a long time without scoring. Foul is going to be called against John Holland. I felt like he was impeded in that play, but that's going to be his 4th personal foul. So the question is, does Cologne keep him on the floor, or do you take him out?
Well, you know, this group has been playing well, so I'm guessing he's going to let it ride.
Remember, Puerto Rico trailed by as many as 30 points. Good hands here now. Howard can push this, finds Pinheiro. They got numbers. That's going to be a kickball violation. It's actually a good reaction there by Marinkovic.
No, it's a great play. They had a 3-on-1 fast break. Holland about to finish that for sure. But again, the defense really stepping up here for Puerto Rico. Aggressive hedging now in their pick and roll coverage.
So finding Holland. Any handoff to the lean forward. Now lean forward just throws it away. It's Abramovich. He's got to throw that one down.
Yeah, that's a frustrating play there. Lean forward needs to see Abramovich sitting in that passing lane.
Howard taking a Hail Mary 3-pointer. Again, the 3 points excellence from Puerto Rico. It continues to pile on.
Yeah, and Howard quiet in that first game against South Sudan, but he is able to fill it up just as well as Waters can.
Well, that's going to be the 2nd team foul against Puerto Rico here in the 3rd quarter. That one is going to be against Jordan Howard, his 3rd personal foul of the game.
And, you know, that's what these Serbian guards do so well on their cutting, able to change pace, draw contact. We saw it earlier with Bogdanovic.
Serbia yet to commit a foul here in the 4th quarter. 14 fast break points to Serbia. The throwdown there. Going baseline and just getting it, Samanic.
Yeah, great cut there. Saw that his defender had turned his head rather than hold corner. Went ahead and cut to the basket.
Only going down to Toro. Toro trying to go baseline. Foul has been called, and that's going to be the first one. That's going to be on Samanic. Well, Samanic, again, was on the weak side in that previous play. They threw the ball down to him. That's the kind of good play you need there to kind of silence a comeback almost.
Well, you know, they're so good at moving and cutting. All of them always looking to make the right play.
Puerto Rico going with a small lineup with Jordan Howard and Tremont Waters. Howard give it go with Taro. Another kick out. Another three in the corner. This is unbelievable. 14 3-pointers for Puerto Rico. They are not cooling down anytime soon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here. Serbia has size advantages at the guard spots with Howard and Waters together.
Ford comes up with a steal. Puerto Rico believing in themselves.
I think Ford got away with a double dribble there.
Howard thought about it. Thinks about it again now. Got it by Milutinov. Pump fakes. Give it go. Another three. Almost got it. That would have been big, Coach.
Yeah, rattled in and out, but he's clearly in a good flow right now.
That is, yep, upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul. Abramovich. Again, I don't think the intent was there, but it was just out of control. And Abramovich, just for the unsportsmanlike foul exists for the health and safety of the players, obviously.
Yeah, and a little reckless there with the grab. Abramovich about to go in for the uncontested layup, so that's the right call there. And really big turn of events, right? Good look from Howard. Rattles in and out, and here you go down on the other end, and it's an unsportsmanlike foul. So that's potentially a 6-point swing right when Puerto Rico was, you know, almost about to climb over that hump, get this down to single digits.
I wonder, the referees have called unsportsmanlike foul. They're going to review this. Is it possible that may look at this as a potential disqualifying foul? Do you reckon?
No, I think they're just reviewing whether or not to keep it the unsportsmanlike.
Normal speed for the first one. Thank you, a little bit before, normal speed.
Well, let's have a listen to our officials.
Okay, can we have another angle? Do we have something good? Maybe this one, okay. Go, play normal speed, okay. Slowly, 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 slowly. Okay, okay, okay. It's a tripping from behind. The guy is running. Do you see a non-natural movement? Can you put a normal speed? Okay, he's running and touching the feet against the feet, so it's a personal foul. It's okay for you, personal foul, it's a normal tripping.
After review, the foul will be downgraded to normal foul.
The contact didn't meet the criteria of unsportsmanlike. It was a tripping and a normal play. 51 normal foul. And 30
Well, I was thinking upgrade disqualify. You said unsportsmanlike, and now it's just going to be a normal foul.
Yeah, I'm really shocked at that decision. Abramovich has got a clear path for a layup there. Not really a play on the ball. The feet get tangled up there, but you don't see that called as a normal foul very often.
Oh. Interesting. I'd say that Tremont Waters is maybe a very, very lucky man. Abramovich makes the first free throw. Still trying to figure that one out.
Well, again, still a big, big play, and that Howard with the opportunity to get this to 10 points, and there you have it swinging the other direction, and it's a 15-point game.
Well, now it's back to a 15-point ball game. Puerto Rico can probably be very relieved. And of course, Serbia didn't get the ball back after the free throws, so another chance to chip into the deficit. Hard foul there by Abramovich on George Condit. Good sportsmanship by Abramovich.
Yeah, nice set there. Trying to get Howard going. They know he's been feeling pretty good. Little baseline double screen action there. Try to get him a corner three.
Good defended by the tough defense of Abramovich to follow up onto the offensive board. Can't get it. Well, good rim protection by Milutinov and by Samanic.
Yeah, and that's where Condit has to make that next step as a player, an elite offensive rebounder. We saw this against South Sudan, though. He's got to finish these when he gets inside like that.
So baseline ball to Puerto Rico. Howard kills the screens. Finds the big man. Another kick out. Lean forward's made 1-3. Can he get another one? Puerto Rico, get your umbrellas out. It continues to rain in here. 12-point ball game. They were down by 30, Coach.
Yeah, and that's a great kick out from Condit. You know, good ball movement there. Puerto Rico's offense flowing much better here in the second half.
Well, could we about to be witnessing the greatest comeback of all time? Serbia, with their experience and their talent. Rich now, almost turning it over. Abramovich puts up the floater, can't get it. And again, Puerto Rico. Well, there's a foul there. That's gonna be the third team foul. Nelson Colon calling for the unsportsmanlike, but
I mean, honestly, I think he has a legitimate argument. It's been interesting to see how you know, at least in our group, these games have been officiated. So, you know, much fewer unsportsmanlike calls on these transition take fouls we've been seeing.
I'm gonna go get my officiating book out and do a bit of revision tonight to try and figure this out. Because that is right there, it's in transition, but nonetheless, Puerto Rico, not too much protest from the players. Waters get to switch on defense. Trying to dive on the floor. Condit showing the hustle. Howard down the middle, finds Pinheiro. Puts up the jump hook and a wasted opportunity there for Puerto Rico. Now Jovic down the middle. Good job there by Condit. But Milutinov follows in for the rebound. Milutinov trying to back his way down. Condit trying to be strong here. Good post defense. That's going to be a 24-second violation. Puerto Rico weren't able to get anything offensively down the other end, but Serbia choking under intense pressure.
Yeah, and that's an unbelievable effort from Condit. You know, started on the offensive side. He's diving onto the floor, able to get to it, find Howard. Then on the defensive side, the lone defender back shows great verticality. Then he has to guard Milutinov one-on-one, forces the tough shot. That's tremendous effort there from Condit.
Well, one thing for sure is South Sudan, no doubt they'll be watching this game right now and taking some confidence from this, knowing that they played in an overtime game with Puerto Rico. All the way, goes to the basket. Now it's a 10-point ball game. Well, this is truly incredible. Puerto Rican fans loving this occasion. Abramovich coming off one ball screen. Condit doing a good job not switching on the ball screens whatsoever. 6 on the shot clock. Good defense, Milutinov, tough shot. Abramovich, he can't get it, no foul. Oh, they called it, yeah. And Milutinov, well, they put a technical on the Puerto Rican bench. Not what they needed when they were just about to make the greatest comeback of all time.
Well, you know, again, this is really frustrating. I think, you know, on a tight call like that, you've got to allow the reaction. That's really all that it was. You know, clearly the officials are watching, looking to give the technical. You know, I've always been frustrated as a coach when that happens. I think you have to understand that, especially in the heat of the moment, every possession matters. Definitely a questionable call. You got to expect there's going to be some kind of reaction. So I think that's a time where the officials need to be looking somewhere else other than the bench, because you know you're going to see something if you are staring over there.
Well, we can always look at our official FIBA Basketball World Cup mascot, Jip. I mean, you know, the human robot that we have running around.
Yeah, I mean, anything but that, and that's frustrating there. You know, Puerto Rico fighting so hard here to chip away at this lead. There've been a couple of big moments. You know, we talked about the almost three from Howard that then led to the fast break, and I feel like this is another one of those moments. Questionable call, probably Puerto Rico heading down to a fast break of their own. Instead, there's the 2 free throws and the technical foul on top of it.
Well, no doubt South Sudan will be watching this game and thinking, you know what, seeing how this Puerto Rican team is fighting, we got a chance. Another team, South Sudan, who love to shoot the three-pointer too.
Well, and that's right. You know, I mean, if these teams are going to shoot a percentage like this, they have a shot. And if you add the pressure defense, which Puerto Rico really didn't start doing until the second half, for sure South Sudan could pull off the upset.
Now we find him Waters. 10 here on the shot clock. Waters, deep 3, step back. And he almost got the drop there. Serbia looking to extend. They're up by 13 points. Bogdanovic hanging up in the air again. Kiss off the backboard, but no, an offensive foul. This is becoming a calamity right now for Serbia. Bogdanovic is okay because he's on the ground right now.
You know, Condit once again making the big play there. Sprinting back, stepping in front here on the charge. Looks like he's outside the charge circle. Hard to see from that angle, but the referee's got a much better look at it than we do. But his intensity level on both ends of the floor, really, really impressive.
So you wouldn't classify that as a block because he wasn't quite set, or do you think that's a fair charge?
Well, I think there's 2 things you have to look at. He's really close to the charge circle, so are his feet outside of that? You know, that was the angle that I couldn't see. And then, of course, your point, is he stationary in established positioning? Now, I got to think, too, the officials probably feel a little bit bad about that technical. Sometimes that helps, you know, with these 50-50 calls.
Sure, absolutely, yeah, I understand. Well, nonetheless, so it gives Puerto Rico another chance here, trailing by 13. They did get it down to 10. First half, it was one-way action. Serbia, total control. Ryan Howard. 4 pump fakes, pulls up in the mid-range. It's a little bit too short. We're trying to fight for the rebound, but that's going to go back to Serbia.
Yeah, but you have to love the effort here in the second half from Puerto Rico. Whatever Coach Colon said to them, clearly working. Pinheiro, Condit, all these guys playing with a much higher level of intensity.
We'll be trying to Boggy. Boggy getting fouled by a lean forward. Free throws coming up for Bogdanovic.
Yeah, and once again, Bogdanovic giving them problems cutting off the ball. These Serbian guards so smart with how they move. And of course, they have teammates who are always looking to pass to the open man.
I like the conversation right now with George Condit and Nikola Milutinov. They're having a debate. George Condit says all ball. Milutinov is trying to say, no, he hit him on the forearm. It's a foul.
Well, you gotta like Condit's spirit. You know, he's clearly brought it to this game, and you know, probably a big part of that is this talking and jawing and trying to get, try to get his teammates riled up.
I love how composed Milutinov is. He's just like, look, I'm here to play basketball.
Well, you know, some of this too is the Puerto Rican culture, and that's what makes World Cup basketball so great. You know, you get to see these different styles on display.
Well, finding Waters here, coming up one screen, splits the defense. Gets a teardrop right over Milutinov. Unable to go for the tip-in. Serbia have numbers now. Bogdanovic goes up. He's going to take it himself. An easy layup in transition. Now, Coach Colon's got to call timeout. Well, 3:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. You mentioned it. Credit to this Puerto Rican team. Down by 30, got it back to 10 points. It's got to be a huge positive they'll take it to their final game as they play China.
Yeah, the tough part, you know, when you're down so much, you kind of need everything to go your way to come back.
Vamos, 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 vamos. Atiende. Elbow and open, George. Howard, go here. Okay? Now, you cut. Hand off. George y Tremont, hand off. He received the handoff. Prescott, feet down. And you go with the other side with George, okay? La tiene George. Tremont, here, Howard. Cut to the other side, George y Tremont. Handoff action. Prescott, feet down. Y sale tú para el otro lado. Yes. We play good defense. No second shot. Pass the ball, everybody.
Well, Serbia have been tested here in the second half. Milutinov, here's a post against Romero. It's like Kevin McHale in the Serbian jersey.
Yeah, he's so effective in and around the basket. When he gets it there, you got to come with some kind of perimeter help.
Well, Milutinov did feature at the last FIBA World Cup in China. Now really has to go into that go-to leadership role for this Serbian team. 12 points today along with 3 offensive rebounds. Already has that double-double, but you know, as you mentioned, you'd expect that from such a great player. Again, it's a costly Puerto Rican turnover.
Yeah, that one really hurts. Just couldn't get his hands on the ball there. That's frustrating coming out of the timeout.
Stefan Jovic, Ristic checking into the game along with Nikola Jovic. Referee Johan Rosso just wanted to take care of a wet spot on the floor, so the moisturizer condition removals will be coming on the floor to take care of business.
Yeah, and interesting here, Coach Pasic bringing Ristic into the game, Milutinov going to the bench over this last 3.5.
Danovic off the ball screen, step back, three-pointer, takes it, can't get it. Rico going to try and salvage anything they can as a positive. I mean, they'll look back on this game and think, hey, if we came out differently in the first half, we could have had a chance. Now off the ball screen. Finds a lean forward. That's going to be a 3 off the backboard, but again, a bit too short. Possession will go back to Serbia with 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and this is where Puerto Rico has to keep their poise. You know, they've fought so hard. You know, maybe won't get over the hump, but that point differential is going to matter. So they have to continue to play this game the right way.
Jovic got it by Pinheiro. Puerto Rico, no more fouls to give. Across the pass now. Marikovic for 3, and again, that Toika is good again. Serbia getting back into rhythm.
Yeah, the ball movement and cutting just exquisite there. Starts with Bogdanovic coming off that screen, finding the right guy on the perimeter kick out, and Marinkovic able to knock it down.
The rejection. Pinheiro went baseline. That's when you say goodbye in Serbian. You say do viđenja, goodbye. Get out of here, please. Not welcome in my house.
Yeah, great help there from Marinkovic.
Well, Serbia have shot 33% from the three-point line tonight. You know, for their standards, that will be very disappointing, but you know, unbelievable. Puerto Rico, 15 three-point field goals. Goes down the middle, goes into the teardrop, and that's an ISO penetration. Bringing it back down to an 18-point deficit. Jovic running around ball screens. He has struggled so far here this evening. That's going to be an illegal screen set by Dusan Ristic.
Yeah, and you got to like the continued fight there. Pinheiro really doing a nice job on the perimeter. Puerto Rico continuing to give all effort to try to chip away at this.
Howard going down the middle, trying to find options. It's the baseline penetration. Good steal by Ristic. Well, Puerto Rico will be thinking, got a great chance. They go up against China. China, who did struggle today by 20 points against South Sudan. Well, the deep 3 is up by Ristic. Can't get it. Turnover. Jovic has this one. Tries to push, finds Nikola Jovic with a two-handed jab. And Lakudoc. Good night, Serbia. Well, Miami Heat's very nervous rookie running down the lane, looking like a baby Vlade Divac with a two-handed rim rocker. Havala. Thank you very much, Nikola Jovic, at the world's highest stage here at the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup.
Yeah, and that looking more like the first half with Serbia able to get out and run. Jovic showing his athleticism there on that play.
Nice little passage of play here from Serbia in the last few minutes. Jovic makes a three-point play. 17 points for the Miami Heat rookie. Also has 4 assists and 3 rebounds, but the game is pretty much done and dusted. But Serbia 1 game away from sweeping the group. But Puerto Rico, you know, they win that game, they'll put themselves in contention for the second or you know, the top spot maybe, depending how South Sudan do against Serbia.
Well, you know, point differential is definitely going to come into play, and I'm sure Coach Cologne's reminding his guys of that.
John Holland, I think, George, vamos así. Okay, Howard here, in the elbow, and Holland, open, feet, George, and Howard. Si no hay nada, open, George atremo. Okay, Howard, Holland aquí, papi here.
Basketball fans, the attendance here at the Araneta Coliseum of this game between Puerto Rico and Serbia is 2,944. Thank you all for your passion support to be the fabulous.
Well, Serbian fans very happy, of course. They're going to pick up the second victory, but you know, group stage is always usually the same story with Serbia. Come in, exemplify excellence at the very highest level, but they've got to think themselves, where does the challenge come? No, speaking with a lot of people, some people have said to me that they think South Sudan can actually give that challenge to Serbia.
Well, I mean, it'll be a tall task for sure. I think the thing about South Sudan, they're able to shoot at a high percentage. You know, it keeps them in the game, but you know, this is a tough Serbia team for anyone.
Well, Puerto Rico, well, at least they've got a good chance against China. Finds Pinheiro. Pinheiro trying to dunk it. Dusan Ristic wanted a foul that caught against Pinheiro. 53.2 seconds left. Pinheiro got up to 14 points. Pinheiro had a very good third quarter with 3 3-pointers and 3 free throws. Well, good defense again now. Bogdanovic trying to find Dusan Ristic. 24-second violation. That's a positive there for Puerto Rico to take away.
Yeah, no question. I mean, you gotta love the fight there. You know, I've really been impressed with both Pinheiro and Condit in this second half. They've battled throughout. You know, Pinheiro obviously also knocking those threes in the third quarter, but keeping that same intensity level here, I think, is an important thing. You know, making sure they understand there are more games to play, point differential for right now, but regrouping and getting ready for that last game.
Vamos así. Ahora, ¿verdad? Dice, Tremont, a pick a Howard. Howard go here. Y los dos le hacemos a Holland. Holland go. When Holland go, Tremont, you go behind him. Y George, here, pin down a Howard. Ok, voy de nuevo. Tremont, Howard, Papi, Tremont, Howard.
Well, then again, you can see the energy tracker for the Serbian players of Jovic, Bogdanovic, Dobric, and Nikola Jovic, and Nikola Milutinov. And that is the starting 5. Again, the energy tracker, Milutinov and Bogdanovic, veteran players, coached by the great Svetislav Pesic. And it was rumored that he would take over to be the new head coach after the 2019 FIBA World Cup, but you know, it was almost too good of a rumor to be true. I just remember those days, 12 years old, watching the 2002 FIBA Basketball World Cup when it was the former Yugoslavia. I love my basketball history.
Well, you have to remember, he was coaching at Barcelona, so Barcelona, EuroLeague participant, would have been hard for him to coach this national team and do that. His release from there opened up the opportunity.
Puerto Rico trying to find something here in the final offense. They've been great in the second half. And again, Howard down the middle. Well, they got one game against China. Win that game, they go to 2-1. If Serbia win their final games against South Sudan, it will be both Serbia and Puerto Rico that go through. But as you mentioned, we could have a three-way tie depending how things go in the final day.
Yeah, I mean, always something to play for in the World Cup.
Now with 3.6 seconds left, Puerto Rico should really try to get something here because points difference does count towards the end of every game.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Waters needs to get a shot up. It looks like he might. Yeah, no, this is good.
Waters trying to push now. Goes from the half court and almost got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Serbia get their second victory of the 2023 FIBA Basketball Cup as they win this one against Puerto Rico. Big time victory, but you know, an inspiring comeback from Puerto Rico in the second half.
No, absolutely. You know, Coach Colon's got to feel good about his guys. You know, for whatever reason, really came out flat in that first half. Not a lot of competitive fighting in them. But whatever was said at halftime worked. You know, guys really came out, gave a great effort defensively. Pinheiro and Condit especially really giving tremendous effort there. And they started playing Puerto Rican basketball. So that's something they can carry forward into that last game.
Well, the Serbian fans enjoying the music and the occasion, as are the Puerto Rican fans. But 2-0 now. One more to go in the group for Bogdan Bogdanovic and Svetislav Besic. But a big, big occasion for Serbian basketball. The expectations may be different from last summer's Eurobasket and the last FIBA World Cup. Serbian players wanted to go to the center of the court, waiting for the Puerto Rican players to leave. A big performance from Nikola Jovic. In the end, Jovic having a fine performance, 17 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. Here are your stats, but still incredible. 15 three-point field goals for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and that really kept them in this game, able to chip away with some of that three-point shooting.
Well, the rebounds going in favor of the Serbians, 41-37. The assists, only a 4-assist difference. And the steals, think about it. You know, if Puerto Rico came out differently in the first quarter, this could have been a different game.
Well, you know, one of the big stats, I believe, is the turnovers. So Serbia, 14 assists and just 1 turnover in that first half. 12 turnovers committed in the second half. And that's a testament to the ball pressure and effort that Puerto Rico started to play with.
Well, momentarily, we will take a look at the highlights from the fourth quarter. It was an inspiring comeback. Remember, Puerto Rico trailed by as many as 30 points and got it down to just 10 points. Jordan Howard, one of the players that was a key influence for the Puerto Rican offense. You can see his little floater off the backboard. You know, he can really push a tempo and play a run-and-gun style that could cause China a lot of problems.
Well, you know, it's good to see him find his rhythm. Struggled in that first game, but he really got into a nice flow here in the second half.
Abramovich, one of those suffocated defenders, just runs around wearing his opponents like a jacket. Again, Jordan making another big three-pointer.
Yeah, and Howard with deep range, very similar player to Waters in that regard.
Well, those two players, one thing they do not lack is confidence. Abramovich again, finding Simanic going baseline, throwing it down. Helm side defense falling asleep. Kind of felt that was the riding of the storm there. That dunk kind of silenced any Puerto Rican comeback at that point.
Well, you know, that's what Serbia does so well. They move and they move the ball. So you've got the player movement. Guys are always looking. Makes it very hard to defend.
Jovic kicking out to Marinkovic. Well, Serbia did finish with 8 3-pointers. Again, after they had 3 threes in the early stage with Nikola Jovic, they couldn't find any other way to get things going for the perimeter, but it was a block shot by Marinkovic saying to Pinheiro, get out of here. You are not welcome in this domain.
Yeah, great help defense there from Marinkovic.
Nice dunk by Nikola Jovic. I'd love to see a 6'10" forward run in transition. Get out and just rip the rain down with no regard whatsoever. And the Serbian fans, how much they love it, knowing that he could be the future's face, go-to player of Serbian basketball. Still only a rookie in the NBA. Even local Filipino fans coming and joining, supporting Serbia. One occasion it was. Well, now Serbia going to 2-0 here in the group. They will go top Puerto Rico and South Sudan equal records now, 1-1. Puerto Rico, final game will be against China, while South Sudan will probably have to do their best against Serbia. That will take place in 2 days' time. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to say to all of our fans in Serbia, do viđenja, laku noć, and to all of our fans in Puerto Rico, adios and buenas noches.